Welcome to my episode by episode review of The Boys. This is going to be my very first episode review I've ever done, and I really don't know the format of how I'm going to go with this. I will either do a script or I'll just live react to segments of the episode, and we will continue moving on. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit rough. But we're starting out with The Boys season 5, and I know I'm late to The Boys season 5. It's already done and over with, but I want to talk about either every single episode of Boys season 5 or a couple episodes, the ones that matter the most to me. And I feel like the first episode is actually really good, so I wanted to talk about it. And I don't know, but let's just jump right in and just see how it goes. So they do open up the very first episode of season 5 of The Boys with a Vought International annual meeting of shareholders, which I had to call out because the name alone is actually pretty great. It also opens up with how we introduce with what we thought was going to be the first major issue this season. Starlight infiltrates the meeting and hacks the video system to show the Flight 7 video, damning Homelander for killing all those innocent people while he's giving this like speech at the shareholder meeting. And he starts to freak out and his eyes even glow a little bit. And honestly, I thought Homelander was going to go crazy at that point. His eyes lighted up, everything, maybe this would be the catalyst for the season that makes Homelander lose his mind. But instead, Sage stops him from freaking out. Then we cut to the vice president publicly declaring that it's a deep fake AI, and they kind of just brush it off under the rug, basically that easily. Homelander still feels like he's humiliated or whatever, but at the end of the day, releasing the Flight 7 video, which was a huge decision back in the previous seasons, was just like nothing instantly in the first like 6 minutes of the freaking opening of the show. So I will say they got like this bit wrong. I would have done a little bit of something different, but like at least make it worth something or whatever. But nope, it's just an AI deepfake. Everything else is good. It's sort of a theme that does go on throughout season 5 where it undermines a lot of plot points that were taken seriously throughout the previous seasons. It's almost like we needed like a season 6 for this season. Maybe that's what people are disappointed about. Though I don't think a lot of the episodes suck in nature. It's just the overall theme of what's going on in the episodes. There's nothing really going on. Episode 1, though, doesn't really suffer from that, though. Another funny thing about this season is that Homelander wants any and all memes posted about him removed, and also those people sent and punished for a crime, basically put in their camps or put in jail, free slave labor. That's a very big theme, and I feel like it kind of touches on what's going on sometimes. You got to be careful. Like, apparently you got to be careful what you post, and that leaks into real life sometimes. But this show does play on that really well, actually, and I thought it was really funny. He mentions how Sage was going to make him Caesar, and she warns him that Caesar got betrayed by everyone he loved, or everyone he thought he loved, and Homelander just plays it off perfectly, which is just great. Again, Anthony Starr, God, he plays this role really good. It doesn't really matter. He carried the show a lot, along with Butcher. Him and Homelander and Butcher, man. He does mention in the scene with Sage where he's talking with her that he'd only be happy if Butcher and Starlight were corpses, which I feel like is pretty contradictory to what he actually means, because I think he loves the chase, but yet it seems like either he's lying to Sage or he thinks he can lie to Sage. Maybe he's not. Maybe I'm giving too much credence to it. But why even mention that he'd be happy if they're dead if he had so many chances before in all the previous seasons to actually kill them and he just never did? Basically, to set up the beginning of season 5, we don't know. We do know that Frenchie and Huey and MM were captured, and they're all at the same camp. Homelander's going to leak that they're going to get executed soon, so that Starlight and Butcher can save them so that he can kill them all. And that's basically his plan for this opening episode, which, I mean, for all the Homelander plans, not a bad plan. Cut to the actual camp, though, where we see Huey, Frenchie, and MM, and it's like a 6-minute sequence. Yeah, another whole 2 minutes of watching the Russian dude with the big-ass dick beat a guy to death. And then we finally start getting into the plot, and then it cuts away. So like the whole like beginning of the camp segment of this episode is pretty slow, and it wastes a big chunk of time, like honestly almost 10 minutes probably of time. for what's an hour-long episode, and it feels like we're just barely scratching the surface, and it's almost 20 minutes in, right? Then we also get about like a 4-minute segment of Billy Butcher going back to England, and we're starting to think he's going to go full scorched earth here. He goes and knocks on the door, and his dad answers, and he wants to go full scorched earth mode, I think, if I'm being honest with you. You know, his dad knows that he's fucked up. He's abusive. He's finally here to finish the job. And it's like a 4-minute segment of him like hugging him and talking to him. And we don't even see him kill him, but I'm pretty sure it's heavily implied. He fucking murders his dad right here, and then he leaves England and goes back to America. Like, he just had time to just fuck off to England to go kill his dad real quick. But, you know, it's just Billy Butcher things. Somehow, Butcher finds Kimiko conveniently in the Philippines, and he just kind of says, you know, "Oi, Frenchie's gonna get done in a number. He's gonna get bollocked." And she just agrees with him. She's gonna go with him because she doesn't want Frenchie to die, obviously. Now, the whole Frenchie and Kimiko relationship, do I agree with it in this show whole entirely? I don't think it fully worked ever, but they just fully push into it this season. They confirm it. So it really is just what it is, I guess. Oh yeah, also this season, when Kimiko and Butcher and Starlight finally all come together, and Starlight just instantly joins Butcher back, Kimiko can finally talk, and she learned how to talk, from TikTok, and just hearing her freaking lines has ruined me being able to talk again, because her lines are genuinely really bad. So I will say that Kimiko was better as like a silent character. I will not lie. They just kind of fucked her up this season and giving her just some of the worst lines in the world.
Oh man, that took a hot minute to regrow. They found my asshole like a mile away.
When we fast forward back to Homelander, just watching the Flight 37 video over and over again, and the Deep and Black Noir come in, and the Deep, Chance Crawford, it just plays the Deep amazingly. He has a podcast with Black Noir. He's fully pushing himself towards this like bro alpha male culture, and it works perfectly for the character. Honestly, it's hilarious. But Homelander killed one of the producers in VOT for simply liking some memes and some Starlight posts. And by killing him, I mean ripping his head like cleanly in half, maybe just vaping it in half or with his eyes or whatever. But it's kind of insane. Not even kind of insane. It's pretty insane. Then we also get an introduction to Ashley, who is the vice president, by the way. Ashley's husband, newest husband, who is O-Father. And this guy is amazing this whole season. O-Father is legitimately a go instantly. And he's only here for this season, so it's pretty amazing. But yeah, I just wanted to shout out O-Father for right now. He's awesome. Starlight and Kimiko try to recruit A-Train to the group so that he can come and help free Huey, MM, and Frenchie. But he refuses because he's afraid that Homelander's going to be there. And he's like, come on, Homelander's going to fucking catch me. It's pretty good character. Like, A-Train's never really changed. He's afraid of Homelander, clearly, and he doesn't want to get caught by him. I mean, for good reason, too, really. We get another camp segment between Huey, MM, and Frenchie, and Huey are pretty hopeful that they're gonna escape without even help from anyone. They're conducting this plan, making Molotovs, and MM's just drinking moonshine and pretty much fucking done with everything. He doesn't think he's gonna survive this, and he doesn't think anyone's gonna make it out. So yeah, it's a bit of setting the plot for the character development here in the beginning of the show, but I don't think this is very bad at all. This is very enjoyable, even on a rewatch here. Then we get this really, really good Homelander Huey segment, which we don't get enough of really throughout the show. Maybe we do get a good amount of it though. But Homelander just tries to like psychoanalyze Huey, but Huey just proves to him that he has these people who love them because he would save them too. And it just kind of makes Homelander remind himself that he has nobody, and there's no reason why anyone would love him. And it's just reinforcing and answering the question that he's asking a lot just in the very first episode. Then we get another A-Train and his brother sort of segment throughout the show. Um, this is a pretty good one. It just kind of showcases how A-Train's turned a new leaf and that he's becoming a good guy, and he's like the only hero to redeem himself, sort of like any of them who were actually bad turning good, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty endearing, which in turn gets interrupted by the Deep, which we get another hilarious segment of him sneaking up and like trying to like investigate on the house that A-Train was staying at. A-Train interrupts him. A-Train accuses the Deep of being scared of Homelander, and it just kind of emphasizes the point on how terrifying Homelander is to everybody else, because the Deep just can't hold anything together. Surprisingly, for a boys episode, it takes about 46 minutes before we get something just deplorably disgusting, and it has to be the fucking worm character digging a hole and immediately shitting the dirt back out of his ass. And I'll just tell you, I didn't need to see this scene again. I was happy that I put it away in my mind, and I feel like Kimiko just being completely disgusted by that. God damn. Butcher and Kimiko end up crawling through the shit tunnel, and they get directly into the building where Homelander has Frenchie, Huey, and Mother's Milk tied up. And Homelander has to mention that MM's name is Mother's Milk, and he laughs about it, and it's just perfect. I fucking love it. It's one of my favorite parts of episode 1, really. Homelander also x-rays Butcher's chest and just reaffirms why he actually likes Butcher and why he's not killing him. It's because he thinks that he's like so devoted to him that he took that cancer and he has all those tentacles all just for Homelander, which Homelander would actually kind of be right. But really, Butcher's just letting him talk so that Annie can flashbang the shit out of the camp, like make nighttime daytime. Probably the most powerful use of her light powers that she has. It works to let them escape, at least for the most part. So good job by Starlight, I guess. There, we also finally get the climax of MM fighting the Russian big penis guy, and he chokes him with his giant penis and kills him finally. I assume he's dead. Finally by getting choked by his own dick. Dick jokes. Eric Kripke likes his dick jokes. Then we get the payoff for the episode, arguably the greatest scene in the entire episode, easily. A-Train comes in out of nowhere. They slow down time doing like a flash segment. A-Train fixes every single situation because Homelander has Huey in his grasps. He's about to kill him with his red laser eyes. Shit's getting real, but A-Train is able to fix everything for the most part, and it's just a really freaking good scene in this show for the first episode of the show, and I think it's kind of crazy. It's one of the better scenes of the season, really. Sadly, we do have to get another pretty cool scene where A-Train is running away from Homelander. Homelander's chasing him, and A-Train sadly loses in the race against Homelander, all because he doesn't want to run through another woman. He steps out of the way and he trips over himself and he crashes through, and Homelander picks him up. But he does remind Homelander that he'd be nothing without the powers. He'd just be a weak, pathetic person, and he's just not afraid of him, and he laughs in his face. And sadly, that causes Homelander to kill A-Train to end the first episode with some pretty good music. And overall, I would say it's like a stellar first episode, in my opinion. Definitely one of the higher rated episodes in my own personal opinion for the season. And it really did set me up for something that I was like, okay, this could actually turn out really good. But then there's some filler, and there's just some stuff that, I don't know, it's just there. And we'll get into that more and more if I keep doing every single episode of The Boys. I wanted to talk about the first episode, and so I did. I think I might go with this format. Who knows? I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll see you in the next one. Tell me what you thought about the first episode of season 5 in the comments down below.